Hello, and welcome to the 31 Days of Halloween, the 4th annual 31 Days of Halloween, to be exact. I'm Exolite, and this is my channel, and today I am going to narrate a story that was left to us by a community member. Her name is Amy Tokaruk, and I hope, Amy, that I did not just butcher your last name. Please let me know below if I said it incorrectly. And if you guys would please leave comments below and thank Amy for submitting this story, I would really appreciate that. I know Amy would really appreciate that. She left a comment under one of the videos and it said, "You want a paranormal story, huh?" I have a lot of them actually. And you know as well as I do that I cannot pass something like that up. So we're going to narrate that today. And if you'd like to be subscribed, please go ahead and do that. And if you'd like to be notified when my content goes live, and why wouldn't you want to be, go ahead and click that bell. Alright, I'm going to narrate Amy's true paranormal story. Let's go. This is a favorite one that always gives people the creeps when I tell it, though it's better heard in person than in written form. My story starts late September or early October. This was many years ago. I just remember it was getting close to Halloween and it was chilly out. I moved to the city I currently am back in 1999. I was 9 then and became best friends with my next door neighbor, Ashley. Her birthday is in September, and at the time this story is taking place, me and her had been friends for many years. I was probably around 13 or so. Anyways, she was having a few friends over for a week before her birthday as a pre-birthday party sleepover. She asked me over to hang out. Her friends wanted me to tell scary stories as we all walked around the neighborhood at like 10 p.m. in the dark. My stories did their job, and everyone was truly freaked out by the time we got back to my friend's house, and well, my house as well, since I did live right next door. Everyone was standing around talking about what to do before bed, as they were all sleeping over. At this point, I was just finding this information out, and no, I had not been invited yet. I was bummed because I would have liked to sleep over at my friend's place, but I was also home alone for the night as my mom and dad were out of town and my other older siblings were also away out of town. So I was alone babysitting our 3 dogs. One of the girls mentioned playing some stupid card games that is supposed to get yes or no answers from spirits. Red for yes, black card for no, that sort of thing. One of the girls was really freaked out. Maybe I had done my job of scary storytelling too well, and was refusing. Ashley and her friends must have thought I was super brave or something and asked me to sleep over as well and also play the game with them. Me agreeing and also promising one of the girls I'd bring a rosary for her to hold for protection as the rest of us played the silly card game. So I agreed to sleep over, but had to go home first, grab a sleeping bag, pillows, PJs, rosary, etc. And this is when the spooky stuff actually happens. But first, I will have to give some context to the layout of the inside of my house. The house is a single story with basement, ranch-style house, so long and rectangular. The entranceway is a big room, with the living room with its huge bay window facing the front yard. To the right upon entering from the outside, and the dining room to the left upon entering from outside. In the entranceway, there's a staircase that is an L shape and goes down into the basement. Now, there were lots of toddlers in the family, so we had 2 safety gates up, one blocking the basement stairs down, and another that blocked the hallway off. The only reason I mention these gates is because I had to keep climbing over the hallway one to deposit my sleepover gear by the front door, and of course, letting the dogs out to pee and poop for the night. The dogs were all done, and I was gathering my stuff, just absent-mindedly thinking about the stupid game that we were going to play. I didn't believe for a second that we'd actually be talking to spirits, but was still uncomfortable doing it just because I know better than to mess with the spirit world. But I also remember jokingly thinking, what if something spooky actually happens to us while we're playing? Or better yet, before we even start playing, like right now. I, of course, didn't expect anything to actually happen, but the spirit world loves proving me wrong. Right after this thought happened, my dog started to growl and yip and whine at the front door. I was halfway over the gate and nearly jumped out of my skin as there was loud pounding on the front door out of nowhere. The dogs were scared and started to back away from the door. I rushed to both big windows on either side of the entrance, thinking it was Ashley and her friends playing a prank on me, but I couldn't see anyone on the front steps. Though neither window gave a very good view, because if someone was standing close enough to the door, they wouldn't get spotted from either window used. So I decided to just go to the door and wrench it open and hopefully scare them. I stepped up to the door, and I swear that as soon as my hand touched that doorknob, the pounding stopped, and a second later, I had the door thrown wide open, and there was no one around. Not one single soul. I even stepped out and checked around the sides of the door and the plants to see if someone jumped there to hide, and nothing. It was dead quiet. I remember closing the front door and being weirded out, but having to finish gathering my stuff together for the sleepover still. I took maybe 3 steps when my dog started whimpering, snapping, and again backing away from the front door. At the same moment, the pounding on the front door started up again. This time, I was freaked out and angry. I yelled at the door for the pounding to stop, and it did. In disbelief, I rushed at the door and flung it open again, but there was no one. I closed the door and whispered to the ghosts, "Okay, okay," and I grabbed my stuff, locked the door, and headed over next door for the sleepover. I told the girls what had happened and demanded that they tell me if they had been messing with me, but they were just as shaken by what I had told them. So I believed them fully. We played that stupid card game and fell asleep, and from what I remember, it was an uneventful rest of the night and the following day. Thank you for sending that in to us, Amy. I appreciate it. And I know that our community appreciates it as well. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. If you would please give this video a thumbs up, share this video. I know that I would appreciate it. I know it would be really great to thank Amy for giving us this story to listen to. And if you'd like to be notified when my content goes live, please go ahead and click that bell. Good night.